Hi, it's Lisa here from Active Domestics, and I just wanted to show you this video of me giving my lounge and dining room a really thorough clean. As you can see there, I've started at the table area, removing all the clutter and giving things a really good wipe to wipe all the crumbs off first, and then I put some eucalyptus natural spray and wipe and gave things a really good wipe. Wiped around the edges of the table and also the backs of the chairs where people commonly touch and leave fingerprints. You can see I'm going off into the kitchen to rinse my cloth out because I've got the sink filled with warm water and detergent, and I just keep rinsing out my cloth and squeezing it out really well and continue damp dusting. I very rarely dry dust, and I never use any sorts of chemicals or sprays or anything when I'm dusting, because just damp dusting with a bit of detergent and warm water is fine. That's all you need. I'm getting things ready for the vacuuming stage, but before you start vacuuming, you want to give everything a really good wipe, because that's all surfaces. You can see I'm wiping over the remotes and anything that gets commonly touched around the place, drawers and door handles and all those edges and surfaces around the place. Whilst I'm wiping, I'm actually turning my cloth around, and that helps maximize the use of the cloth and minimize the amount of times I've got to keep on rinsing out my cloth. I'm damp dusting everything because order is so important. Remember, when you're cleaning, I want to get rid of all the dust and just swoosh it up. There was my son, number 3, coming down to the kitchen, and I'm just want to wipe over everything, including the leather couch. I'm still just using my cloth, my damp cloth, and that's just going to give things just a good surface clean and get rid of some fingerprints and some food left behind and all that kind of stuff. Wipe over the fans, wipe everything. So the other fan there, just giving it a quick wipe. It's a Dyson one, so it's nice and quick. So still, what I'm doing with my clutter is pretty much putting my clutter for the purposes of this video over in the corner, and then after I finished the video I dealt with the bits of clutter and put everything away. With the vacuuming, now I don't give things this thorough vacuum. Oh, there he comes back again. I don't do it this thoroughly every single time. You can see that I'm really going over the same spot multiple times because I want to give it a really thorough clean. This is the table. Of course, there's going to be lots of food bits and crumbs and all sorts of things underneath there. And, you know, if I'm going to go to the trouble of taking all the chairs away and doing it, I want to do it properly. Lift up the edges. There's my son, number 4. Now, he can't have an easy getaway because he's got a dirty little corner over there near where his Xbox is, and I've just told him to clean things up. So I'm starting to tidy things back up and put things back in their right places, because you always want to actually vacuum the rugs and the rugged areas first. If I didn't do that, I should say, when you vacuum the rugs and the carpets like that, it can splatter little bits of dust and dirt back onto the tiled floors. So that's why you want to make sure you do those areas first. Then do more tidying up, moving things around, so that you can have more of the tiled floor space to give a really thorough clean. Move the little bits of furniture out of the road and really get into the corners that you don't always do these things all the time, but you need to give it a thorough clean from time to time. Otherwise, you do find dust and dirt does build up. Get underneath the furniture and really take the effort to be thorough. See, with tiled floors, things often stick to tiled floors and you have to kind of go over them a bit sometimes before the sticky bits will lift up. Now I'm vacuuming the other rug over by the TV, and once again being really thorough and underneath the couches and underneath the coffee table and moving the coffee table and whatnot. You can make your job easier, remember, at these points by shortening or lengthening the vacuum pole, especially if you've got tight space. You might need to do that. So go over those same areas multiple times, really agitate that carpet and allow the dirt to really lift off. Now over there I'd found a few little nuts and screws that my son had left behind. Luckily for him I spotted them in the rugs and didn't just suck them up the vacuum cleaner. Remember when you're vacuuming to keep an eye on your electrical cord, because you really don't want to knock anything over or pull anything over or leave a tripping hazard whilst you're vacuuming. So pay attention to that cord. You want to go over places you've already been, because oftentimes the vacuum cleaner will conceal dirt or the cord will conceal dirt, and you kind of just need to go over places a few times to really get everything done properly. So I just remembered I hadn't actually wiped this pole that holds up our house for a very long time, and it had a lot of dirty fingerprints on it, in fact. And I just turned the cloth around and kept wiping. I wiped over the stools by the kitchen bench. And here we go, time for the mopping. So with the mop, I've got really hot water and the correct amount of product, because I read the back of the bottle and made sure I used the correct amount, because remember, some floor products are highly concentrated and some are not. So know what you're working with for maximum results. Lift things up, move things around. See what I did there? I picked something up and put it in my pocket. That was actually a bit of a strand that had fallen off the mop head. Oftentimes cleaners will put things up, put them in their pocket, because it's just then empty it off into the rubbish bin at the end of their clean. Especially when you're vacuuming, you don't want to accidentally suck something up that's going to clog the vacuum cleaner. Now see how I really rinse out that mop? I don't just dip it in and then squeeze it out. I really rinse it out so that the dirt can be released from the mop head and settle to the bottom of the water. And make sure you've got enough water in your mop. Too often I see people just put the tiniest wee bit of water in their mop bucket, and it's not really enough to give your mop head a thorough rinsing. See how I'm going really close to that pole? A lot of people don't go close enough to doorways, poles, edges, things, walls and things like that. And then you often get a dirt build up around those sorts of areas. Keep a lookout and you'll see what I mean. See, I'm going underneath the furniture and doing it properly. And I'm making sure I'm not walking, leaving footprints and things like that. Right, lastly, now you know how I love my flat mops. Probably seen I've got quite a few videos about using flat mops for cleaning walls and things like that, and ceilings. But here I'm using my flat mop, or one of my flat mops, to dry the floors. The head there was completely dry, and I'm just drying everything off so that number one, the people in the house don't come downstairs and slip over the floors, because you know how slippery tiled floors are, and number two, so that no one comes down and leaves dirty footprints anywhere, because I've just put all this effort in. So cleaning's good exercise, and bonus for you, bonus for your house. So there you go, folks. Done. Thank you for watching.